This one ingredient will change the way you cook plant-based meats at home. Hold on, let me show you. This is what the big guns are using in the plant-based meat manufacturing world, and let me tell you why. One of the #1 reasons is protein diversity. Pea protein is a more complete source of proteins and amino acids. It has a better bite and chew, and pea protein is hypoallergenic. And it's from today's sponsor, fakemeats.com. So let me show you a few quick ways to use it because you're gonna love it.
So first, let's make some tacos. So I'm gonna do about 1/2 cup of the pea protein crumbles, along with some smoked paprika, cumin, oregano, garlic powder, chili powder, a few dashes of liquid smoke just to give it some of that smokiness. Now you can use nutritional yeast, but I'm gonna be using yeast extract or Marmite. That stuff is gonna make this meaty. Now I threw about 1/2 cup of water in the microwave, and we're just gonna dump that over top of this. So at this point, we just need to cover it up. We're gonna let it sit for about 5 or 10 minutes. That's it. Now this is easy. After the 5 or 10 minutes, we're just gonna throw some olive oil into a pan over like a medium heat. We're gonna toss in our textured pea protein and just simmer that up. We're just trying to heat it up and kind of like cook it down. We want it to slightly brown, just a little color change, but that's about it. Then we just want to top off our tacos however you want. I'm just doing lettuce, a little bit of vegan mayo, spicy mayo. And now let's see, what Monica thinks. Does she think these are meatier than your regular vegan meat tacos?
It tastes like a meaty taco to me.
Yeah, super good chew.
Yeah, this is good. And did you flavor this, or is this?
I flavored it.
Okay, yeah, it's a great flavor too.
It's spicy. It's a little spicy. I went a little too much on the spice.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it's good. It tastes like taco meat.
Yeah. So I'm gonna use the same stuff, and I'm gonna make meatballs right now.
Okay,
so to turn these into meatballs, we need to make these from chunks into ground. We want a finer consistency, but we still want them to be kind of chunky. So I'm gonna grind up 1/2 cup at first, pretty fine, and then we'll throw in the extra 1/2 cup and just pulse it. So now we have our chunky textured protein source. So let's start with our binders. I'm gonna start with 1.5 tablespoons of methyl cellulose, 2 tablespoons of potato starch. That's gonna be part of the chew. Beyond Meat uses that as well. 1/2 tablespoon of beetroot powder, and 2 tablespoons of mung bean protein. Protein diversity, right? Now to help the mouthfeel, we're gonna use about 1/2 teaspoon of xanthan gum. That's gonna help with kind of like the fatty mouthfeel. Now with the way we're making this fake meat, you can flavor the meat and the meatballs at the same time. So we're gonna start with a little bit of garlic powder, oregano, smoked paprika, dried parsley, and my favorite, yeast extract, Marmite. Now to really up the meaty taste, we need a little bit of like iron, and a good iron source is blackstrap molasses. Now we need about 1 cup of cold water or like room temperature water. Mix that up. This is gonna be a fairly wet mixture. And we're gonna wanna cover this up and let it sit for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Allow all of this to hydrate up.
So most of you know I've been using fakemeats.com for a while for all of my fake meats needs. And now they have a new line of Plant Basics textured proteins, including the pea-based protein and the classic textured vegetable proteins. They have everything from strips, grounds, and chunks of textured vegetable protein, along with the pea protein crumbles. And fakemeats.com has everything you need. Egg replacers, jerkies, they're like the #1 seller of plant-based jerkies. You gotta check out their jerky selection. I mean, really, it's an awesome one-stop shop for your vegetarian and vegan meats and treats. You will love it. So gang, head over to fakemeats.com and check out Pea Protein Crumble. Save 15% off using code SAUCE at checkout. That's fakemeats.com, code SAUCE. It's gonna save you 15% off at checkout. Swing by today, fakemeats.com. Thanks for sponsoring today's video and having just an epic selection for me to choose from for my fake meat needs.
Okay, it's been like 30 minutes. You can see most of the liquid has completely been sucked up by the methyl cellulose and that pea protein. So now we're gonna add the rest of our meatball ingredients, which just includes some garlic and a little bit of breadcrumbs. Now take a look at your breadcrumbs ingredients. It's kind of surprising, but not all dried breadcrumbs are vegan. It's weird. Sometimes they add milk or eggs to them. Now growing up, my mom always mixed the meatballs by hand, so that's what I did here. And you can see this looks like meatball meat. I mean, it really does. So at this point, we need to add some fat. Now I just did a video about a week ago where I made a burger recipe, and I made some coconut fat, like a burger fat, and I made enough fat to make 4 pounds of meat. So if you want to know how to make this fat mixture here, go ahead and check out this video right here. I'll leave it up here at the top. But otherwise, this fat is really simple. We're just going to crush it up, and then we're going to mix it into our meatball meat. And now we just need to form our meatballs. So sometimes this vegan meat gets a little sticky, so I'm just going to use a bowl of cold water. I'm going to wet my hands and then start forming the balls. We're just going to grab a little bit. You want to make these normal size meatballs. Don't go extra large. They won't really cook through, and it's just gonna be the wrong consistency. So go like a normal grandma-sized meatball. We're not recreating Buca de Beppo here. Now we're just gonna heat some oil up in a pan over like a medium heat, and we're gonna brown these things. Now we can fill up the entire pan. Don't worry about crowding on this one. Just make sure that they all are in a little bit of that oil. That's gonna make a difference. I mean, look at these meatballs. They look so good. They're cooking really great. Now, we're just gonna make sure that we cook them one side until we get to flip to the second side and then cover them up. Once you're cooking on all sides, uncover them every few minutes and toss them around until they're brown completely on all sides. Now add your sauce. I just have some red sauce in the fridge from dinner the other night that I made. Just toss that in. You don't need a bunch of sauce on these meatballs. I mean, this isn't like we're making a pasta. We're just having some meatballs. And now I just want to see what Monica has to say. She's had the Beyond meatballs. Are these any better?
This is good.
Way good.
I like it. Definitely, they definitely are more meaty. They have the meaty like texture. They very much a great meatball.
Okay.
You know.
I think Beyond has like that aftertaste
Oh, okay.
that these don't have. And these remind me more of like your frozen meatball. I'm happy with them. I'm happy with the pea protein from fakemeats.com. Heck yeah.
So there you have it. Plant Basics Hearty Plant Protein from fakemeats.com. The pea protein, it's really good. This one ingredient really did change the way that a lot of plant-based meats are made. When the Beyond Burger first came out, they were one of the catalysts for this new ultra-realistic plant-based meat. And pea protein played a huge part in that.